Welcome back, my dear friends, welcome back to ever so amazing sexy Cossacks Back to War, specifically where we are playing as Saxony. That is a Saxony campaign that came with Art of War expansion. So basically there was Cossacks, European Wars, and expansion Art of War, and after the expansion Art of War we had Back to War. Now Back to War only added a few new units and new nations, while Art of War actually added new campaigns and a lot of new missions. They had, of course, their own difficulty setting compared to the vanilla ones. So you don't get actually confused when you actually get the Back to War, which actually has a DLC, a campaign expansion, which incorporates all the European Wars campaigns, the 4 campaigns with the tutorial, and of course Art of War campaigns, including this one with a lot of missions. So there is that. Just like saying all this could make people go nuts. Nonetheless, we're continuing on and we've gathered a new group of units. Well, they're a group. 13 beautiful dragoons of 17th century, the Saxony ones. But again, most of these dragoons tend to be the same. Not all, but most. So they are 17th century, 11 attack. We have, I think I've read exactly what they do. Of course, iron, coal per shot and all that good stuff. In the description, I think we have already read this, as it's a cavalryman armed with a musket. Suitable for a long-range fire. Will not shoot if the enemy is too close. Long range of fire and low rate of fire. Takes a long time to create, unless you upgrade it in the blacksmith and you get the ability to actually get the horse people faster, like dragoons, cuirassiers, and all that stuff. All the good stuff. Anywho, moving on. Now, I already did this video, by the way. I already did this. It lasted 40 minutes. My god, it lasted actually 40 minutes. The video was 40 minutes, but it sadly did not record properly. There was sound, but there was no actual visual thing to it. So, you know, like going again through all what I actually said, it's gonna be a little bit tough because I really mostly talked about how beautiful the game truly is. I mean, basically, Cossack games are so unique to me, and you look at the Cossacks 2 with an upgraded engine, a beautiful graphics, just looking at all the details on the uniforms, being in the sprite, it's a 3D with 2D, like here, 3D terrain with 2D elements all over the place, right? It's an amazing thing, and considering what GSC did with all that, is mind-blowing, just freaking mind-blowing. Now, first and foremost, let's go with our main character, that is the rider. He's going to be Control 0. Control 2 are going to be the dragoons. We have 13 of them, and they're going to be very useful here, because I'm going to utilize them like I would utilize units in Southern Strike. Now, again, another one of my top real-time tactical RTS/RTS games of all time, World War II, that is. Southern Strike 1, the best in the entire series. So I'm going to utilize a few units to disable enemy musketeers, which will actually be seeing them hiding in the bushes and behind the trees. But first, let's activate the conversation with this NPC. Finally, you've arrived. I have prepared artillery for you and will accompany you on your campaign. Excellent. And with this we gain an officer. An officer is, as I said previously, a very important character because it needs formations. Now again, I'm mostly guessing this that you've already played Cossack games, so I'm very certain that most of you who actually gives a fuck about watching these videos already know everything about Cossacks, so basically you're gonna get bored me explaining this, but I'm gonna still continue explaining it because who gives a fuck, right? So this is a officer of the 17th century. He has a pike, and that's about it. A very important unit nonetheless. Commands infantry formations of the 17th century. Very good attack and defense perimeters. Requires gold. Now, of course, you can see as usual unit upgrades, but the general thing is, this is the gist of it. It's 12 gold, right? For the upkeep of him. So you can see the gold is slowly moving down, but not just because of him, it's also because of the cannons. The cannons themselves, without actually firing, need the gold upkeep, constant gold upkeep. So there is that. Now the cannons are the most costly thing you will have in terms of gold. So they will eat gold like nobody's bitches. You have to be careful with them. You also have a howitzer, but a howitzer is not the thing that you should worry about. As you can see, only 62 against 625. So there is that. So again, very big upkeep on the cannons themselves. So let's see a little bit about them. It's a field cannon, effective against buildings, fortifications, and navy. Very important against navy, by the way, because you can wipe out most of the navy ships, even the battleships, with ease with a few proper cannons and nicely upgraded in terms of the accuracy, in terms of the range, and of course durability of them not getting OP'd by the battleships themselves. Fires cannonballs at long and medium range, makes efficient use of grape shot fire in close combat against infantry and cavalry. Now think about that. It's a bloody cannon, right? And it does what it's supposed to do, but it's a cannon of the 17th century, right? So it means that it has an actual grape shot attack, which is exactly the thing. This is the little shield, which represents right here, it's 200 defense against grape shot attack. Most of these attacks, even with one shot, will wipe maybe even 10 to 15 soldiers at once if they're grouped together. So one cannonball can wipe out even more if upgraded proper. So cannons are beasts, are monsters if you utilize them properly, especially if you have someone guarding them. So anywho, continuing on with the cannons, the beautiful cannons. So again, that's the thing that I forgot completely to talk about is the grape shot thing. Oh, I forgot how it's named. So requires gold for maintenance. If there is no gold left, as I said previously in the previous video, you cannot actually utilize the cannon. Even again, if you had all the coal and iron of the world, without the gold, certain units will not be usable. And of course we have the very infamous howitzer. Now infamous for me because while it does a massive damage upon the buildings and everything else, it actually has a few issues. It has a very not long range, and above all it can be usually one-shotted by one of these towers here. Usually, well, 100% of the time, usually. So it's a siege gun, provides plunging fire, effective against fortifications and large infantry formations. Low rate and accuracy of fire, requires gold. And again, as usual, if you don't have a gold, you will not be able to use it. Undefended, all these units here, not including the infantry, can be captured by any nation, any ally, be it, well, not ally, I guess. You want to capture your own equipment unless it was captured previously by the enemy, so they recapture it for you, but not really for you, it's for them. But there is that. So nonetheless, all of these are going to be very useful for us because we're going to be utilizing Uncontrolled 4 for them. We're going to slowly move in because it actually is not really that much of a timed mission. While some missions tend to be timed in the way you have to operate certain moments, like you have to defend this and then you have to get the fuck out of a certain place as fast as possible or intercept a transport or something like that. So what we're going to be doing with our friends here, the pikemen, they will not reach this position. They will be in a defense stance, not defense stance, specifically on hold ground stance, which goes into the effect the moment they reach that certain position. And from this moment on, if they are in the stand ground, they will not actually move. They will just stay there and watch you die. So what we're going to be doing here, I'm going to show you this because basically I don't want to lose the beautiful dragoons. They are quite valuable and have very costly units, so you don't really want to lose them. And you can see that the defense on the dragoons is non-existent, so they basically have no whatsoever armor. It just counts on the hit points themselves. Now, because of the long muskets they have, we're gonna tell them to disable the attack, because we don't want them to open fire all the freaking time. Especially if they're gonna aggro a bunch of infantry here that they cannot kill. 5 of them cannot kill one of the pikemen of the Saxony here. So we're against Swedes, but there's some Saxony peasantry that does not like their own people. So anywho, we're gonna go a little bit to this position, and 5 of these should be immediately able to wipe out one of the musketeers. Now, I do think that certain things do tend to prove problematic in terms that if your musket fire goes through the bushes and all, I think there is a chance of misfire. I could be completely bullshitting here, but I think there is also a chance of a critical. So if you press the tilde key again, we can see all the health points, and you can see the orange bar again beneath that shows you the effective fire that the actual units that do have musket fire or archers or whatever, they actually see the ammunition and the way it reloads. So here we have some units hiding, and from what I see, I think we have a unit over here. I have no idea what it is. It is actually a musketeer. We cannot see the unit beyond the tree line here, but we can see the friend near him. What we're gonna be doing, utilize these beautiful 5 Dragoons and open fire on that one person. In general, immediately I like to press disable attack so they don't start opening fire on the next closest thing, and this way we wait for the reload of the entire group and open fire upon this one. Excellent, beautiful. 5 Dragoons will do a lot of damage upon one of the Musketeers. Now Musketeers, of course, or have no armor, not these one at least, compared to for the Musketeers for the Russians who actually have an armor. So when you actually go into the blacksmith, you can upgrade the armor for all your armored soldiers, including the riflemen, which actually have armor on them. So there is that. A disable attack. Okay, let's slowly move, sudden striker style. Okay, we kind of screwed up this one. Run away, run away. Run away. Excellent. Now open fire. Excellent. Excellent job. Now wait it out. Wait it out. Open fire as soon as you can. Hopefully nobody dies. We got a little bit of damage upon some of our soldiers, but 5 of them still alive. Again, no armor, so the musket can actually mostly kill one of your soldiers. And I think that there is a critical hit upon certain things. So the most important thing is not wiping out the infantry with pikes, but actually killing the infantry that has no armor whatsoever. And that's the thing that I really want to deal with first. Because these guys can be easily dealt with the cannon shots or whatever. And it's because we have a lot of gold, because we have not given a lot of gold for those knights or that multi-barreled cannon, we are kind of fine to take our time and do whatever we really want. So again, disable attack, let's slowly move in, and to me again important to, if we can lure these guys, it's not a problem if we lure them towards our formation, that's not a problem. But what could be a problem is our cannons opening fire. That's not something I want them to do. They could wipe out our own infantry if they are close in range against the enemy, and that would be a bad mojo. So, moving slowly but surely. And of course the sound effects of the water, and you can see that and hear the seagulls. And when you actually make maps in editor for this game, yeah, that ambient effect immediately goes into the motion. What I'm gonna do here is actually go into the options. Music will stay there. We're gonna get that sound a little bit up because the sound effects are strong and beautiful. I love them, like the gunfire sound and all that. When you actually can hear them, and if you have a reverb on your headphones or something like that, or you can just hear such an awesome sound. So anywho, let's move down the line here, and just try and kill. Not mine. Excellent. Fall back. We have not noticed one of the musketeers. Let's see who is the most injured here. Not really that many, actually. I think a little bit. Excellent. Nothing too serious. Nothing too serious. Okay, let's move attack upon you. We'll continuously open fire because again we have a huge huge chunk of coal and iron. So that should not present a problem for us. Let's go back with our beautiful infantry. Let's go back here. Tell them not to disable attack, to actually enable the attack, but stand ground. Thank you very much. And let's tell our main unit, that is our own hero, to just stand ground and not move, as if he does die, it's a reload again from the last save. Hopefully this actually is recording, otherwise I'm gonna go nuts again and say, well fuck this, I'm not recording any more of this. Who's actually watching this crap? So let's go back here. Again, we can easily lure all these pikemen, that's not a problem. What I want is to kill right off at least one of them. Excellent. Fall back behind the tree line here. The rest of the beautiful dragoons will open fire immediately. Excellent. As you can see, the damage done to one of them is mostly non-existent almost. Like you're not feeling it. You're just not feeling it. If we lose actually some pikemen, that's not a problem. Though again, in missions like these, and for Saxony, most missions are like these, where you have to take your time, have a limited amount of force, and you're gonna get mostly fudged. So, utilizing lure against the enemy and slowly wiping them out one by one sometimes is a precious thing. Excellent job. Again, This is something I adore. Now, when I do come to the point where I'm actually showing a Cossacks 2, that will be even more glorious, because Cossacks 2 and American Conquest changed a little bit of a gameplay. While it's the same game, they do unique stuff. Much unique stuff. When you play against natives and all that, and they have arrows, and you like barely any shields. Well, shields. They don't have shields. They're just basically naked people. Aztecs, Maya, engines of any kind. Just, you will see how much all these games are actually different. So that's why I always say, get all the Cossack games. They are worth it. They are just worth it that much. They are perfect games for people that like beautiful, detailed games with love, made by the developers. I mean, if you played Stalker, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, so I really don't have to explain myself that much. Open fire. Excellent job. Let's get the hell out of here. Move in with the pikemen. This time around, I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care for them that much, and luring the enemy is not a problem. Let's go. That is the second group. Excellent. Excellent. And what we can here do is utilize the entire group on stand ground and then open fire as much as possible. Wipe out most of these peeps, most of the infantry, the Saxony betrayers of light. Open fire. Thank you very much. Again, it is not a huge waste of coal and iron. I mean, it's 4 of iron, 4 of coal per shot. But I still don't like wasting that on the musketeers. The musketeers can be killed by 5 dragoons immediately. And I want to say dudes, I want to respect these bastards after all. But you can see the range compared to the musketeers. It's much bigger range without any upgrades, without anything coming from the academy, for instance. I'm not seeing anything anymore. Excellent. Group 1, of course, are gonna be my beautiful pikemen. They are group 1, excellent. I'm gonna move attack with them. Group 2, of course, will cover them with the dragoons. Move in, dragoons, excellent. Slowly but surely. Excellent. I think we've cleared up the entire thing, and on the map you will not actually see the blue dots. Which, honestly, when you play Cossacks, is the map that you're looking at most of the time. So, Control 0 should be on my main hero unit. He will be following us, well, we will be following him through the entirety of this storyline. That means he will be in all the mission except the last one, I think. I think the last one against the Swedes is gonna be the one where we actually don't have the control of our general. Halt! Who goes there? This road is controlled by my squad. It will cost you 5,000 pieces of gold to pass through our fortifications. So pass through the gateway and pay. Now remember, we didn't have a huge chunk of gold to begin with. And if we paid again for all the stuff for the knights, for the riders, for the multi-barrel cannon, we would really have a small amount of gold to utilize against the main fortification awaiting us. That is in terms of cannons. The gold is very important. We shall, of course, pay him. Thank you very much. We'll deal, I mean, that deal is the best thing. And that's one of the things, or the crux of things that can happen is, if you do not know the level, you're gonna get fucked most of the time. So you have to familiarize yourself with the level to actually to understand what might happen, where you're might actually fuck up, or where when you know when you know what's gonna happen, you can have more fun, especially when you do videos. And I like again that design philosophy in these levels, the new ones in Art of War, because they're much more harder and it's as I said, much more detailed. The GSC really outdid themselves with this one. Can you actually kill this one? It's 47, but they will not reach us at our spearmen will aggro. Open fire. Well, you don't have to. Our spearmen dealt with those bastards. Sadly, we have no priest, so we will not be able to heal any of our troops. Let's get the cannons up running. Let's get the officer up running. 0 for our main hero. The cannons rule and the howitzer are gonna be quite useful here. But the dragoons are the best thing. 13 steel, nobody died yet, which is a good thing. And utilizing them against these bastions is gonna be perfect. Just move attack command, fall back, like this. Get the hell out of there. Excellent. Beautiful. Open fire and fall back. And this is again a beautiful thing. They're falling back with auto move command, right? Backwards from the enemy. So they open fire and fall back. They don't have to wait for the enemy to get close enough to screw them in the ass. Again, one of many things that I love that the GSC put a lot of detail in that. And again, the graphic wise, if you played on lower resolution, you would actually see the such detail on units. It's just mind-blowingly nice. Like this is 1280. Now if you play the 1024 800 by 600, my god, your brain would just go boom, explosion. Just look, the game looks that good. So anywho, we're gonna do the same thing we did previously. Just lure them up like this, with like that, and slowly kill one of these units one by one. I mean, we have 13 dragoons. They will be able to few shots one of them and hopefully kill. Excellent. Open fire. Of course, we could utilize spearmen or even a howitzer. The howitzer should be utilized against the buildings that are awaiting us here. A very dangerous bunch of buildings, by the way. Excellent. Very dangerous bunch of buildings, as these are the buildings you cannot actually build in the regular from any of the nations. These block houses, log cabins, if you will. Well, they are log cabins, full of people with a massive amount of guns. They will mostly one-shot all of your units. It's basically dangerous to get close to them. And because of that, now in American Conquest, you actually have block houses. Same thing like this. You put a lot of peasants or any type of soldier inside these block houses, and you defend that location. Now, American Conquest again and Cossacks 2, completely different beasts, but mind you, they're completely different games, and that's something I love. It did not evolve as much, expanded upon the Cossacks 1, which again is a risky move, which did not pay off, by the way. Cossacks 2, American Conquest, not as popular as Cossacks 1. I mean, after all, that's the reason we also have Cossacks 3, which is because basically a remake of remake of Cossacks 1, Back to War, specifically this one. Because Back to War became the standard to which you look at the Cossacks games. Its balance and all that stuff. Hopefully someone will be able to heal him. 7 health points, come on. 17 health points. Come on, 17 health points. Open fire. Thank you very much. 8,336 coal and iron and 6,000 gold. I think that should suffice enough for the last few attacks we have. Again, this is where we're gonna be ending our mission anyway, but slowly. We have that time, and again, one of the beautiful things, again, that we can actually do this. Not all missions are like this, especially in Art of War. And if you play one of the many of the missions, the single missions, which are again beautifully done, you have a lot of armies and all that. But I like that there is an aspect of us being able to do this. Yes, let's be honest. As I previously said in the video, when you can actually see a game that it goes with 5,000 units on the battlefield to maybe 30 units in total for the entire mission, and seeing how much you can do covered up stuff, that just to me shows what game can actually do if you have the proper editor and all that, so you can make your own missions the way you really want them to happen. Which was also some of my, like, the biggest wishes, to do missions for Cossacks that are the Southern Strike missions, like USSR mission number 1. I would love to see in Cossacks 1, where you play as Russians and Ukrainians against Prussia and Austria, for instance. You know, so that first mission, it would be the same like in Southern Strike for the USSR as it was in Southern Strike. And it would be just beautiful to see in this engine, or in Napoleon 2 even. My god, that one is even amazing. Like, the Napoleon that Napoleon 2, Cossacks to Napoleon Wars is just, my god, I cannot explain it. If I ever get to that point where I'll be able to show you, I will just explain how amazing those things truly are. I'm just gonna explain that, like how amazing they truly are. Now, sometimes I lose actually this howitzer. Now, I think maybe if I get close to a certain bush, it just kills itself. Or maybe it's this that is the biggest problem. Let's fall back. Holy shit, did you see that? Did you see the damage? The damage, my dear friends. But the problem with that is, as you can see, the reload time. Now, if you go Control D, which speeds up time, for these types of thing, it's perfect. It goes fast, and it's amazing in its own right. We can utilize, of course, while the howitzer is having fun there. Let's move our basic cannons, as you can see, and they will open fire like this upon the log cabins. They do not have a lot of health, so they can easily be killed. But you can see the speed, the way they reload if you go on the fast mode. Control D is the slow mode or the fast mode. Fall back. Excellent. Stay there. You don't actually have to kill them with the howitzer. You can utilize just the cannons. The range is on their side, and killing also the musketeers is a perfect thing from the distance. Again, as long as you actually have... Get the fuck out of there, get the fuck out of there. Control D, slow it down. Thank you very much. We can actually aggro certain units. So you have to be a little bit careful. Imagine if we did lose the howitzer and it actually did not open fire. At that moment, the howitzer can actually attack our units and kill most of our men. That's a scary thought. Again, controlling your units very important, especially when you have to take care of units like the howitzers or basic artillery of any type, like these cannons. They can be captured, and that's the sweet thing that I really love about any RTS that allows me to capture enemy units without the fucking priest, like Age of Empire. Not that I'm attacking Age of Empire, it's an amazing game. But this way is more organic to me. It's more like, look, this is what you can really do. I mean, taking enemy cannons, especially in 17, I mean, in 17, 18th century, World War I, for fuck's sake, taking enemy cannons is like the biggest thing you can really do. Utilizing the enemy cannons against the enemy cannons against themselves, it's just amazing stuff. It's just like that the best thing that can happen, and that happening in Cossack, having that ability, is just, to me, it was always like, wow, you can actually do that and screw over the enemy, like capturing the certain buildings and all that, as I previously said in the previous video. It's amazing feel when you do it, because like, look at me, I've captured all of your stuff, all your economy now belongs to me. I captured one of your peasants, I immediately built the town hall of your nation, and I immediately get more cheaper units without getting cheaper barracks with different types of units, and just making a bigger army by that point, because with each barrack it costs more and more in resources. Having 3 barracks at the very start with whatever basic resources is really freaking hard. So when you capture enemy stuff, that's 10 out of 10. Because it's a cheaper thing. You get the same, you would build your first barracks, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same thing. Oh no, we lost one of the dragoons. How sad. Okay, we're gonna tell you, stop firing. We don't want you to do something that we should not be doing. Excellent, open fire. Let's get our cannons over here, and what these cannons will do is open fire upon the Saxony units, the traders, the beautiful traders near the ferries. And also, we can just move attack. Now, with everything that I have, hopefully I do not lose any of my spearmen, well, not a huge amount. Excellent. Again, the musketeers can do damage, but individually, that damage is really not a huge thing, considering that the armor our units do have. And this is one of the beautiful things. Again, they have to only do easy escape and try and escape, but they get stuck on the walls, so they get screwed over. Beautiful stuff. So excellent, you have liberated the peasants. Now you bring them to the village into the south. Excellent, where we gained the beautiful dragoons. And that's exactly what we'll be doing. But first and foremost, let's open fire upon these formations. Bad news, sir. A substantial Swedish force is approaching from the north to cut off our way back. The only way out is to capture enemy ferries and escape by sea. Thankfully, the enemy will not be attacking us with its full force. If they did, this would be really much tougher mission than it truly is. Let's again move and attack with cannons. Now also, the beautiful thing about attacking the enemy across the wooden walls, that is that the wooden walls can just go, you can go through them, right? Well, beyond them, that is. When you attack across the stone walls, there's an issue right there, because you're pretty much fudged heavily. You're gonna hit most of the time, you will actually hit the walls themselves. And again, that's nice attention to detail. Let's just hope. Do not attack the ferry, for fuck's sake. The ferry is the thing we need. The ferry is the thing we need. Let's get you over here. Let's get all the peasants over here. And move attack with the pikemen. If we do a nice damage with the howitzer, when it actually reloads, before our spearmen arrive, that will be perfect. Wait, there's still in formation. That formation is gonna wipe us out. That formation is gonna wipe us out. Wait. Now attack. Did not do a lot of damage, as you can see yourself. Like that was bad. That was actually bad. Open fire. Hopefully we kill them, or they kill us. 10 pikemen left on my side. Excellent. The ferries have been captured. Excellent. Beautiful. Let's get all the peasantries over here. Let's get them over here. Get the ferries ready. And you see the X, that means you can actually enter the ferry. Sometimes like this, when you get ferries, you cannot actually enter until you actually move the damnable things. And in some missions, this tend to be fucking annoying. Excellent. Let's get inside the ferry. All the peasants in one ferry, because that's important, with our main character. Everybody else, really, we don't care about you. Let's get over here. Over here, please. Over here. Is there anybody else? Yes, we do have you. Excellent. See, the pet finding tends to be problematic at certain points, but only at certain points. It's important for us to just get the peasants and your own character. All others have no value whatsoever. Sad to say, but that's just a fact. See? We cannot be late. Excellent. Let's get the hell out of here, because again, it's all about the peasants. It's all about the peasants. Oh no, they're gonna kill the ferry. You know what? Fudge that. Let's get the ferry out of there. The enemy galleys are attacking. Sorry guys, you're gonna stay there and die probably, but not really. We could utilize our own cannons to attack the enemy ships and help out the frigates that are actually attacking the galleys. Now, galleys are the artillery pieces of the water world. Let's get over here on the land, so hell's bells, maybe pick up more of our soldiers. Our officer. You see, open fire. And the damage we can inflict with the cannons is massive. When you get attacked by the enemy cannons, by that point you're pretty much fudged, because those cannons probably have a better sight than you. Let's get inside. And we'll help out our Saxony friends against the evil Swedes. Is there anybody else left here? Nope. Just the cannons. We'll leave the cannons where they are. They're gonna just cover us for a while until we get to the land near the docks. Get our troops behind. Well, leave them in this village and end the mission. And also you can see that by this point they have gathered all the wheat they can. And again, the beautiful thing is also that each nation, again, has this different structures. And the beauty of those structures is that they look so, again, beautiful, but above all, individual. And we'll be talking about those in the future, of course. Again, attention to detail. The most important goddamn thing that I love about games is the attention to bloody detail. When games don't have them, they can fuck themselves. Well done, you have returned the captives to their native village. It wasn't easy. I wish you guys the very best. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next time, more love, more drugs, and ever so amazing Cossacks Back to War.